My name's Heron Brae, and welcome to the Wild Green World. I'm here today to give you a backyard botanical tour. And my goal today is to help bring you out into this world to see an example of what it can be like to go into your own backyard and find out all the edible and medicinal plants that you could use there. So here I am today in a backyard in California. I'm just north of the Bay Area in Marin County, and it's April. So it's springtime, lots of plants are coming up, and you can see in this relatively small lot inside a quiet urban neighborhood that I found 23 plants that you could either eat or use for medicine. I can't show you all of those plants today, but I'm going to show you a sample. And I want you to know that I would love to come to your property, be it a many acre lot or a small urban house with a small backyard, and I would love to come and personally give you a tour of the things that you can eat and use for medicine in your backyard and help you connect to your place. It's important to me to show people how to eat weeds and things that just grow in their backyard because I feel that it establishes a firm connection to our place. Wild foods are actually more nutritious. They have a higher vibrancy of life in them than any food you could find that came from an agricultural field. And so naturally they just have a stronger drive and impetus to survive. So they make really good food for us in that way. Also, if you're interested in local foods and reducing the impact on the environment from industrial agriculture, what's a better way to practice eating local foods than to eat out of your yard? So here I found one of my favorite plants and one of the most common plants that we'll probably also find in your yard. This is dandelion. Dandelion has a single stalk that's smooth and there's no branching on it, and it has a single head of flowers at the top of the stalk. Down at the base of the stalk there's a whorl of leaves, a basal rosette. So to identify these leaves, you'll notice that it's mostly smooth, occasionally a few straggly hairs, but it's really not a hairy leaf. And notice the shape, how it's got this arrow shape at the top, and then it's got these big teeth that go all the way down, and the teeth are kind of pointing backwards towards the base of the stem. It's both medicinal and edible. The whole plant is edible. You could eat the flowers, the leaves, and the roots. And it's also used medicinally as an alternative. It's a liver stimulant and it helps you pee. It's a diuretic. So here we have the very common and familiar English lawn daisy. It's got all these little naked stems, no leaves on the stem, with a single flower head. It's got little short leaves that are kind of oval and have a fat, wide stem. And they're all in a rosette at the base. And you'll see this plant growing up through lawns all over the place. You can eat both the flowers and the leaves of this plant. They'll be good raw or cooked as a pot herb. I don't have experience using this plant medicinally, but it does have a history of many medicinal uses that one could look into. The next plant I want to show you is plantain. This is Plantago lanceolata. And it's easy to identify because it has these long, lance-shaped leaves that have veins in them that are parallel. A lot of people think that this looks a little bit like grass for that reason. And there's also another common species of the broadleaf plantain, or Plantago major. Broadleaf plantain can have leaves that are like this shape, really round and wide. But it's also used for the same thing. I like to use plantain as a food and a medicine. As a food, you can just eat the leaves. Some of them are better than others. I would probably go for the younger leaves that you can find. You could eat it raw or blend it up, put it in smoothies or soups. It's a little bit fibrous, so some people might prefer to cook it. And medicinally, it's a very powerful plant for drawing things out externally. If you chew it up and make a spit poultice in your mouth and place it on your skin where you have a splinter or a mosquito bite or an infection, this plant will draw things out of the skin. It will literally pull a splinter to the surface of your skin if you leave it on there for a few hours. And internally, it's similar. It's soothing and detoxifying internally. And the seeds of this plant are mucilaginous, and you may be familiar with psyllium husk. That's another species of plantain that's used internally as a bulking laxative agent, and also for soothing and cooling the internal mucous membranes. This is Gallium aparine, or bedstraw, also called cleavers. I love this plant. You can see even just touching it, it's sticky. It's sticking to my skin. Yes, it has all these little barbs on it that will stick to you. Also notice that it has these whorl of leaves on a node, and it has square stems, whorled leaves, and look at these little fruits that are growing on here. They're like two little prickly eyeballs. This plant is edible and medicinal. You can feel free to eat as much as you like of it raw. If you want to eat it but don't like the prickles, try blending it up in a blender with some lemonade. Strain out the pulp, and then you get all the nice yummy nutrients and medicinal quality of it in your drink, but you don't have to eat the prickles. So medicinally, this plant is a powerful lymph mover, so it helps detoxify your blood. You can use this for times when your liver's stressed out, purifying toxins from your body. It'll help support that and move things through quicker. One example of that many people may experience is a hangover. This plant would be great for helping you recover from a hangover. It has special burn healing properties that if you make some kind of poultice externally and put it straight on your burns, it's very quickly soothing and healing to that tissue. Thanks for joining me for this version of the Backyard Botanical Tour, and I sincerely hope I get to see you someday to help you explore your backyard and all the botanical wonders that we can find there.